Our brother billionaire Jay-Z might be in trouble, guys, in regards to new financial choices that he has made, which have been reported and has basically garnered so much traction that I believe it's really bothered him. Are Jay-Z and Beyonce going broke? Is this why Beyonce is going on tour like a workhorse and just finished a 4-day tour in Atlanta alone, let alone so many of her new projects that she has built? Is this why this is happening? Because I definitely want to know. Eyebrows are being raised due to a curious move on their 88 million Bel Air mansion. Jay-Z and Beyonce's combined net worth, guys, is $3 billion. But Jay-Z and Beyonce have taken out a $57.75 million mortgage on their beloved Bel Air mansion, bringing their total borrowing on the property to a whopping $110 million. Given their wealth and their extensive property, portfolio, this has raised significant eyebrows. They bought this Bel Air mansion for $88 million in 2017 and opted to keep it when they bought it for what was billed as the most expensive home in Malibu for $200 million in straight cash. The two kept the Bel Air property, viewing their estate as home, partially due to its proximity to schools. But the Houston-born 43-year-old and the Brooklyn-born 55-year-old's choice to hold on to the house has now saddled them with another 30-year loan, with an interest rate of 5% for the first 10 years, totaling to $310,000 a month. This is coupled with their second 30-year mortgage they took out 4 years ago for $52.8 million with Goldman Sachs, with a 3.5% rate, with repayments working out at $226,901 a month, which is a lot, guys. It's possible they're using the recent mortgage cash for investments that could offset the 5% interest they're paying, but it still means they've borrowed, guys, an eye-watering $110 million. But that's not all of the expenses. Adding to the mortgage payments is the not so small matter of property tax, which is $1.2 million or roughly $100,000 a month. Before factoring in staff and maintenance, the couple is already shelling out $637,000 a month in mortgages and property taxes alone. And so a lot of people are, confused and are basically just raising eyebrows on this, because they've borrowed $52.8 million to buy the place and then refinanced again in 2021 with Goldman Sachs for the same amount, before adding on a further $57.75 million borrowing in April this year. This revelation is more eye-catching as the pair basically paid $200 million for another property in Malibu in straight cash. So they stumped up the mammoth amount to buy their Malibu home with, at the time, smashed all records, but then here you have them remortgaging, refinancing, and are basically borrowing over $110 million. And so people are wondering what is happening here, why they've made these choices. Is it because, they basically are going broke? And I use the word broke loosely because, of course, their definition of broke is very different. But, people are basically, questioning this. By taking out a second mortgage, you are adding to your overall debt burden. Anytime you add on to your overall debt burden, you make yourself more vulnerable in case then experiences financial difficulties that affect your ability to repay your debts. It is important to know that a major risk with home equity loan or home equity lines of credit is that if you cannot repay a home equity loan or home equity line of credit, you could lose your home because you are using the equity in your home as collateral. When you use home equity to pay off other debts, you really aren't paying them off. You are merely taking out one loan to repay another. The interest rates may be lower in the short term, but that's only because you are using your home as collateral. So they are questioning why she's taking one loan to repay another. This could also be possibly due to money laundering, which is something that does happen when one, takes out and refinances and you've got money from one to use to pay the other. Why are Beyonce and Jay-Z doing this? What is going on? So people are reacting to this. A lot of people are basically calling them broke, saying that, who's on tour for money now? Jay-Z's got his wife out here risking her life in the air and putting the kids on stage every night to still have to do this. Jay-Z get ready to crumble. Beyonce fans keep it cute, someone said. It's interesting because there are good things to this. It can preserve liquidity. It can offer tax deductions on interest, and you can avoid selling assets that could basically trigger capital gains tax. It is a strategy wealth management issue, but it can also indicate financial trouble. So a lot of people are saying that this is indicating financial trouble, which is why this has gone viral. But of course, this could also just be a purely strategic wealth management issue. I don't think they are going broke to the bone, but I definitely feel like finances are strapped for them. Refinancing is a choice to make. It is a risky wealth strategic management choice to make. Any wealth or financial advisors and management people, please come in the comments below, because we need you now more than ever. Accountants, you're also welcome. But I do think that, you know, this is more of a strategic move, but it comes with risk, because you bought one home straight with cash. You're now refinancing, and this article within itself has gone, you know, completely viral. There is a report that states that Jay-Z was denied a 115 million loan and a 55 million line of credit as well. We also know that Desiree Perez in that video stated that Roc Nation were in 40 million debt, and therefore they just were saved as of recently, you know, when things were going down for them when that video was filmed. So, you know, there is a lot of this that people need to really look into. Taking out a 58 million mortgage on their Bel Air mansion brings their total borrowing on the property to a whopping 110 million, guys. The legal fees also from what Jay-Z is facing, not just from the Busby madness, but then the Rymira stuff, also the financial lawsuit that he's been strapped in, all of that adds to this. So is this the why Beyonce is producing Secret, is producing, you know, that alcohol line and etc., all of these projects that are basically being funneled out every 6 months? Because outside of the tour and stuff, she essentially is the cash cow, is the biggest earner of Roc Nation, and therefore needs to be the workhorse and jump on a hamster wheel, when certain things like this need to be made. Is this what this is giving? Because this is what it's implying, guys, and this is why this story has gained traction and has gone viral. It can be strategic management rules, but it's risky in regards to refinance. Yeah, I don't think they're going broke. I think that's a reach, to be honest with you, but I do believe that problems are adding up, and this is why these refinance, you know, mortgage choices are being made. One cannot ignore that. We can't sit here. If this was an isolated report and nothing else had come out about them in the past 6 to 8 months, specifically Jay-Z, then, you know, you can just look at this as a wealth strategic movement. But because this man has faced so many stipulations and issues and hurdles in the past 6 months, apparently this robbery that just happened, let alone this stampede madness that just happened, there's always something going on every 2 weeks. I do believe that these financial choices were made for protection, to maintain their wealth, how the wealthy stay wealthy out of fear. I think that these choices were made out of fear to control and protect assets, protect the wealth, make sure that everything, you know, keeps to increase and etc. That's why she ain't allowed to get off work. That's why after this, she'll be coming back with Act 3, which probably is rock music, and coming out with another genre and then another tour and etc. Just blowing out work 24/7, guys. I don't know. It definitely makes you think, because Desiree Perez literally is on video saying with her chest that they are in 40 million of debt, that they were at one point, and she was desperate and Roc Nation was about to fall. Like she has blindly admitted on camera that they have had significant financial struggle issues. So why wouldn't this be something to protect or prevent that from going down the drain? Because he feels like he could be in the trouble for the next couple of years when more lawsuits are going to pile up, because Diddy has spent a significant amount of money on these lawsuits, 10 to 20 to 30 million, etc., and this can all just be a liability for Jay-Z, and he just does not want to deal with that. He doesn't want investors pulling out, etc. He's even said himself, because of the Busby lawsuit, he lost out on 20 million. He lost out on certain loans being denied to him. This is all coming from him. This is what I mean, that because there's so much in the stratosphere, it's easy for you to link this story to other stuff and come to the assumption that they're doing this out of fear, trouble, and prevention of going broke and etc. They're not going broke, in my opinion. I think they're doing this to maintain their wealth, and I think it's a risky move. Do subscribe, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys have to do. Just one click, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.